Amen. Say, man, we gonna thank God for another day, man. Glory to God. You feel me? Look, and y'all know how we coming, y'all. Y'all know the title, thumbnail. Y'all know what's going on, folks. 5 more creepy new details in the David Tesla case, gang. Like, this junk been going on for I don't know how long. I think it's been 2-3 weeks now, bro. This junk still buzzing, still popping. This was 11 days ago, but sure, if we scroll up and watch later, it's new videos. Feel me? I think this was like 24 hours ago, gang. I gotta react to that too. You feel me? I'm just a little bit late, but like, yeah, this case still popping, bro. This junk crazy. I don't got too much to say, bro. All glory to God. We're gonna hop straight into it, man. Get y'all snacks. Let's do that.
The investigation into singer David has intensified after the body of a teenager was discovered in a Tesla that has been linked to him. From canceled tours to social media revelations, new developments are raising serious questions about their supposed relationship. And the ongoing probe, we're going to break down the latest developments in this case and what law enforcement is focusing on next with a retired detective. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The investigation into Houston-born singer David, D4vd, real name David Anthony Burke, continues to widen after the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found decomposed in a Tesla reportedly registered to him. Authorities are still working to determine exactly what happened here, but the fallout is growing. There's an alleged former teacher of Celeste even coming forward with troubling claims about her connection to the singer, and we're going to get there. But first, we got to look back at what we know when this case first broke. We covered it here on Sidebar, but on September 8th, LAPD officers responded to Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue. And this is after workers reported a foul odor coming from a car. That car was a Tesla with Texas plates registered.
Bro, I don't know why y'all think y'all just gonna put a dead body in y'all car and keep it there and ain't nobody gonna like, do you not smell it? Like, did you just get so desensitized to it that you think, like, you feel me? Like, bro, I don't know what y'all like. Bro, I don't know if y'all probably watched the video, but it was a video on my channel. I might put it on the end screen or y'all can go find it. That video was great, by the way. I made a part 1 and a part 2. It was a girl who killed 2 kids and hid their their bodies in her trunk. And as the police stopped her for some reason, I don't even know. I think it was some small, like, speeding or a headlight or something. They started smelling, so they had the right to search the car, and they found 2 dead children, bro. That junk be crazy, bro. I don't know.
Been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills and towed. Inside the front trunk, authorities discovered dismembered human remains wrapped in a bag. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner identified the body as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had been missing from Riverside County since April of 2024. According to reporting from KTLA, the Cybertruck had been there for about 5 days. The medical examiner's office said that Celeste's body was badly decomposed.
You already attracted people to your car because it's a Cybertruck, and now so you're attracting people to your car with a dead body. Yeah, okay.
Like, in the vehicle for an extended period of time. Now, Celeste's cause of death was listed as deferred, but around the time that she went missing in 2024, there were rumors that circulated that David was dating a teen girl named Celeste. This is according to screen captures of messages that were posted in 2023 in chat rooms, namely Discord. Now, Celeste, who had just turned 15 the day before her body was found, was remembered by family as a wonderful daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her brother previously told NBC Los Angeles that she disappeared after leaving the family home to see a movie with David. Reports also noted a striking detail, that Celeste had a tattoo on her finger reading "shh," and multiple photos showed David with a nearly identical tattoo on his hand.
Imagine being able to build it.
Like, what is that symbol?
Your name on it, just by thinking about it.
I don't even want that on my hand, bro. It's just crazy.
Now, in the past week, both of David's remaining U.S. tour dates, San Francisco and Los Angeles, were canceled, along with at least 9 European shows that were listed on Ticketmaster, including an October 1st stop in Norway. A scheduled Grammy Museum appearance in Los Angeles was also pulled from the venue's website. His label, Interscope, later told TMZ that all promotion for David, including his deluxe album release, was being paused. And David, by the way, was also the face of a new collaboration between Hollister and Crocs. But he was scrubbed from the campaign just days after it was launched, according to the New York Post. Now, a spokesperson previously told NBC News that David was cooperating with authorities, but to be clear, there's no formal arrests. Now, investigators are digging deeper into this case. We are too, and for that, I want to bring on a special guest. I want to bring in Matthew Irvine, who's a retired detective and law enforcement instructor. Thank you so much for coming here.
Deep? It's a freaking body in this person. Like, I don't understand, bro. People with more money and more wealth really be getting off easier. Because y'all know for a fact, and can't nobody tell me otherwise, if that was a random person, they're getting locked up until this gets investigated. Facts. Facts, gang. And it wouldn't even take that long, bro. Because it's a famous person. Y'all and him, I don't think that they never say he was in jail. They said he roaming around, bro. They just trying to get more evidence to arrest him, bro. Like, man, y'all crazy.
Sidebar, we really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
So, based on your experience, how do police, by the way, when they're dealing with, I wonder if this is a big issue in LA, but how do police deal with prioritizing cases when you have a celebrity, a famous person linked in some way to a crime? How do they deal with
cases,
that?
Bro? Like,
well, you know, ideally, there really shouldn't be any distinction.
Was I tripping? Am I tweaking? What did I just say, bro? Like, if a random person was to get found, if a random old man was to get, or the same age as him, not old, but like, you feel me? Like, this was a 13-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl we talking about. She died when she was 14, right? If a random man had a 15-year-old girl's body in her trunk, is he not going to jail right away? Or am I tripping? Y'all, really, let me know, bro. Like, gang, just because this man's a celebrity, he gets the wrong free until they pile up enough evidence to convict him. You feel me? We got Matthew Irvine says he should be treated like, you see what I'm saying, bro? That's
based on the fame or wealth of the person implicated in a crime, whether they be the accused or the victim. In reality, there are always pressures that are brought to bear on investigators, be it from within their agency or from the media or the public. And the challenge for the investigator is to remember, as Harry Bosch says, everybody counts or nobody counts.
This is the first Bosch reference we've ever gotten on Sidebar, and you named it. Okay.
This man too happy for that man too happy to be on live TV, and that, oh, bro, like, what?
Dealing with a body.
Too happy.
That's as decomposed as this.
You saw that? He just shot the lock in. Look at his face,
you named it. Okay, when you're dealing with a body,
you feel me? Yeah, let me lock in.
That's as decomposed as this. How do authorities analyze that evidence? How do they handle that evidence? And the idea that this body was severely decomposed, what does that tell you?
Well, it sounds like from the reporting we've heard so far, and again, I don't know anything about this case other than what's been publicly reported, it sounds like poor Celeste was likely in the front trunk of that vehicle for several weeks before her body was discovered, and there's even been reporting that she was dismembered. That certainly presents a challenge for the medical examiner and for investigators in terms of determining time and cause of death. Also raises some questions in terms of why the killer reportedly chose to dismember this young woman.
Right.
Sometimes the killer will dismember their victim because if they do that and disperse the remains over some space, and particularly if certain body parts aren't found, it makes it harder to identify the victim. Now, people that kill strangers don't usually need to worry about the victim being identified because there's nothing that connects to them. So the only time the identity of the victim is a problem for the killer is if there's some known relationship.
Right.
Look, I'm going to say this. I cover crazy stories all day, and I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes it makes me think about myself, my loved ones, family. If something should happen, would my family still be able to cover the big expenses like the mortgage, utilities, the day-to-day bills? Look, I know, life insurance, that's not something you want to be thinking about. But the truth is, life is hard to predict, and it's important to start looking for options before anything bad happens, okay? And the problem is, traditional life insurance, it always felt complicated and intimidating. There's a lot of paperwork, there's waiting around, sometimes there's medical exams. But with Ethos...
Yo! He got me good, folks. I did not see the promotion coming until like 15 seconds in. Then they got me clicking on the website, y'all. This is just crazy. That man slid that promotion in. Hey. Bravo, gang. He just slid that one in. Hey, shout out to... Damn, nigga. Let me skip. What the hell they got there? What's up? What What they got going on before they not let you skip us?
Of the body in this car.
That
I wonder,
though,
is that something investigators are looking into? How can someone have the ability to do something like this? Who can have the means, the opportunity to do that, right?
Well, we have to kind of keep the Occam's razor principle in mind. I mean, this vehicle was registered to David Burke. It's apparently towed from across the street from a home that he was renting. So the simplest theory would be that this crime happened in or near the vehicle and likely by David or somebody close to him with access to the vehicle. That said, as an investigator, we have to keep in mind till the investigation is complete and all the facts are in that we don't know yet all the facts. We need to think about what we don't yet know. And as an investigator, while you want to trust your intuition and the wisdom of your experience and your common sense, we have to remember that just because you did 100 of these cases and it always turned out this way and the answer was X, in this case, the answer could still be Y. So we have to keep an open mind. But certainly there's a lot of publicly available information that seems to point to the involvement of David Burke in the death of this child.
By the way, what causes decomposition and how quickly does it happen?
Decomposition is a natural process once the person is no longer alive, and it's affected by a lot of factors, including temperature and whether the body is protected in some way. In this case, in the front trunk of a vehicle in Los Angeles in the late summer, it's likely that decomposition would happen very rapidly.
I want to get into some of the key updates in this case from the last time we spoke. So, according to Forbes and ABC News, police executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home on September 18th where David had been staying. They seized a computer, they seized other items of evidence. Sources told the Los Angeles Times that David had been renting the home, which the LAPD confirmed to Forbes was on Doherty Place. That's not far from where the Tesla was reportedly abandoned. And Matthew, actually, let's just start there. What does a search like that tell us about where investigators are focusing? How significant is it that they've removed electronics and other materials from this property? What does this tell you?
Well, in order to get a search warrant, you need to be able to articulate to a judge that you have probable cause to believe crime has been committed and that evidence of that crime is going to be found in the place that you intend to search. So just because you search somebody's residence or vehicle or other property doesn't necessarily mean that that person is your suspect in the crime. It simply means that that place is likely to have evidence related to the crime. So certainly they had to meet that legal standard in order to execute the search warrant. And I'm sure that in addition to looking for physical evidence, forensic evidence within the residence, as you said, they are seizing electronic evidence. And that's going to be critical in this case. I mean, just from what's already been reported publicly, there seems to be a lot of online communication between people who at least appear to be David and Celeste, going back maybe as far as 2022 when she was 11 or 12 years old.
You dirty. You feel me?
A lot of communication, again, just being posted online between David and other parties that appear to have some knowledge, at least, of his relationship with Celeste. So the timeline is going to be really important here. And the electronic record is going to be an important part of that timeline.
100%. And by the way, we also have to mention that while this was going on, deputies in Houston, they also confirmed to Click 2 Houston that they responded twice last week to David's Cypress, Texas home after security alarms were triggered. Now, the property records tie the house to a trust that resembles the name of his debut album, Petals to Thorns. There's no search warrants that have been executed there, which is interesting because, Matthew, how would law enforcement typically treat these kinds of security alerts in an ongoing investigation when you're talking about a different property? Are you surprised that property hasn't been searched yet?
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of this, but it's interesting to think that somebody may have tried to make entry to that property. That could be an effort by somebody to remove evidence that was there. That's the obvious connection to this Los Angeles-based investigation. As to search warrants, again, officer or detective needs to be able to articulate probable cause to a judge that there is evidence of a crime on those premises, and apparently at this point they don't feel like they've got that.
Now, I want your perspective on this too. So TMZ obtained messages from a Discord moderator that was tied to David's online community. And the administrator insisted that they believed Celeste to be 18 or 19 years old and denied knowing that she was a missing, 15-year-old. Part of the message that was obtained by TMZ reads, "We, the Discord and Twitch staff teams, want to clarify what we knew and didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was made public. From what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 to 19. Now, it's not clear which administrator made this statement, but Matthew, that's interesting, right?
It is interesting, but I don't really know how relevant it is in terms of this criminal investigation. What's important is what David knew. And all the publicly available information appears to show that he knew her age, that he first communicated with her when she was a middle schooler, again, possibly 12 or 11 years old, and that when she left home with him in the first part of last year, she was only 13. And as you know, we've been talking about her a lot as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And as you said, it's important to remember she never lived to see her 15th birthday.
Right.
She was found in the front trunk of that car the day after she should have turned 15. So this really is a child, and throughout her relationship with David, whatever it was, she was unquestionably a child.
And that's the point, because TMZ reports that there is this newly surfaced video that apparently shows David and Celeste together on a live stream interacting with fans. And in the clip, Celeste can be heard prompting David to respond to a comment. That video was recorded in January of 2024. You go back to that timeline, Matthew, of when they said she went missing. Is that video going to be key for investigators?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's just one of many images moving in still that have been popping up all over social media in the last couple of weeks. There seems to be a really strong digital footprint showing them in various locations, backstage at his concerts, doing his live stream, and various still images taken in various places going back at least to early 2024. And again, as you said, that was several months before she left home, and while she was still very much a 13-year-old middle school kid.
Well, I tell you what, it's not just investigators looking into this. There have been a lot of online sleuths that have been digging into David's posts on social media as well as his songs to see if there's any clue about what might have happened here. There's an unreleased song that was leaked last week. It's reportedly called Celeste_demo unfin, as in, unfinished. This is according to KTLA and TMZ. And in David's biggest song, called Romantic Homicide, David sings, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true." We all know whether or not lyrics will play a role in a criminal case is a controversial and constitutional issue as well. Just putting that to the side, though. In a 2022 interview, Forbes reports that Burke had said that those lyrics are figurative, saying, "I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died." Online sleuths have also uncovered a TikTok video made by another user, but it was apparently reposted by David, where the person in the video is chopping up chicken, and words on the screen read, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." So David's label, Interscope Records, along with UMG, Sony Music Publishing, Wasserman, they have paused all promotional activities around his upcoming deluxe.
Imagine, bro, like, just think about it, folks. Like, you and, like, I hope none of y'all be in a overly dumb situation like this, but say, like, bro, somebody, like, God forbid, somebody kill one of your family members, like, they rob them and kill them for just a random reason, and you go kill them and you wind up in jail, right? Justifiable, right? I ain't blaming you. Who am I to judge you, gang? That's, take that up with God, you feel me? I don't condone it, but I see your point, right? So say you do that, bro, and then you in jail, and they get to, like, just get to pulling out all the evidence, nigga. What you reposted, what you liked, what you searched up, nigga, what time you brushed your teeth, like, damn! Jake made me want to tell him myself, shoot, like, all that, like, the government really, real deal be watching you, for when they got eyes on you, and it ain't nothing you can do to stop it, folks. Facts. When they really got eyes on you, bro, it ain't nothing. This they went through his TikTok reposts. What? like, what is he talking about, bro? That's just crazy,
and his career overall, basically. His last Instagram post celebrates the release of the deluxe version of his album, Withered, which was supposed to come out on September 19th. Forbes reported it hasn't appeared on streaming services. Matthew, a few things here. First of all, the lyrics, I mentioned, I've talked about cases involving musicians and criminal cases and whether or not the lyrics can be introduced into evidence as intent, or it shows their knowledge or what have you. But do you think that there's something of value there, or are people maybe reading into it too much?
I think there's certainly something of value. I mean, we need to be careful in treating song lyrics as autobiographical or confessional. Johnny Cash saying that he shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, and nobody thinks Johnny Cash killed anybody. But as you said, it's the totality of what he is putting out there, not just the lyrics to Celeste or Romantic Homicide, but the posts of chopping chicken. There's another post that had to do with jealous rage when he finds out she's had prior relationships. He created a sort of alter ego for his latest album and tour called Itami, who is pictured in a blood-spattered shirt. And David Burke described him as in an interview as his sort of evil, homicidal alter ego. Supposedly there's a video for Romantic Homicide that shows Itami murdering a girl. So is it proof of anything? No. But it's certainly information, and it's certainly part of the total picture that investigators and prosecutors are going to have to look at.
Why do you think there's been a full stop pause on his career? Is it because, hey, listen, from a PR perspective, from an optics point of view,
he's involved
as this investigation's going on, we as a business, we can't...
What type of questions they be at? Like, bro, what do you mean? What type of... What? Like, bro, what is he talking about?
Continue to promote his music. We can't, have any role in this whatsoever. We want to distance ourselves. We want to let this cool off. Or does it signal to you that there is something going on in the investigation, that there is a development, that something is about to happen? It would help in the sense, now you know where he is, and if you need to further question him, he's not going on tour.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's not leaving the U.S. As to the sort of business decisions, I mean, he right now looks like somebody who's in a lot of trouble. All the available information right now seems to point to him. I can't imagine any publicity-conscious business wanting to continue an association with him or wanting to promote him at this time. That, though, is a different calculus than is he guilty of homicide, and can that be proven beyond a reasonable doubt? So there's the optics right now, which seem to point very strongly to his guilt. That may yet prove to be the case, but we're still a long way off from, even at this point, apparently probable cause to arrest, much less guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
So he's still around. Yeah, like I say, he's not in jail, bro. If that was a random person, they would have got put in jail, bro. Y'all can't tell me otherwise.
We got to talk about this next development. It's pretty wild, okay? A Southern California teacher, who is, by the way, not yet been named by law enforcement, revealed, or apparently revealed in a TikTok video, that Celeste had once been his student at Lakeland Village Middle School. In that video, which was recorded by a student in his class, he can be heard recounting that Celeste allegedly told other students that she met David online, again, when she was 13 years old, ran away with him, was eventually found by police in Hollywood, and then disappeared again in 2024, May of 2024. And the teacher said that he even spoke with students at the time who told them that she had been in contact with David. TMZ says they spoke with this teacher who told them that he shared this story with his class as a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media. Matthew, given this teacher's account, or alleged account, of Celeste, running away, her interactions with David, what are the challenges that this type of information may present for investigators? How seriously do law enforcement agencies weigh this kind of statement?
So, a video taken by a student of a middle school teacher in his classroom is not in itself proof of anything. It's information. It's not evidence. Question is, can this teacher's account be corroborated in other ways? And again, a lot of what's coming out now is just coming out on social media, and sometimes it's multiple levels of hearsay, somebody posting on TikTok something that they are screenshotting off of Reddit or Discord. But it seems like the family is also telling authorities that indeed Celeste left home initially in April of 2024, that's when that missing poster was created. It describes her as leaving home, last seen wearing Hello Kitty sandals, that she came back for about a month or so, and that she left again in May, and that she was last seen by the family going someplace with David. So if that is indeed what the family is saying, as has been reported,
All
that
this
would
evidence, bro.
jive
Ain't
exactly
no
with what
way,
this
bro.
teacher is
What?
alleging. And
She was
that
last
is useful
seen.
information for authorities when it's not just alleged.
She
but
was
also
last seen with David and was found in David's trunk. That's all I need. I mean, like, you know, we ain't trying to lock the wrong person up, bro. But ain't no way I'm letting this man roam free, knowing this. Like, come on, bro. There's no way in the world. We gonna figure this out, fool. And if you're not guilty, we'll let you go, bro. But hey, it look like you guilty. I'm 90% that man who did that. 95, 97, 98. I ain't gonna say 99. But like, oh, bro. Like,
And the fact that this information surfaced on social media, does that affect how investigators handle it?
You know, it's funny, trying to educate myself about this case, I realize that most of the up-to-date and detailed reporting is on social media, on Reddit, on Discord, on TikTok, on Instagram. And that is a challenge for investigators because this is these are new media formats, quite frankly. A lot of robbery homicide detectives are middle-aged people like myself who aren't really savvy in these newer forms of media. So I would absolutely hope that there is attached to this investigation somebody who is a lot more social media savvy and probably, frankly, a whole lot younger than me, because that's really what this investigation is going to have to include in order to really stay on top of all the leads.
Yeah, and trying to corroborate that story would be interesting too. Could the TikTok post itself be treated as potential evidence? Is it just more of a lead that they then follow? What do you think?
It's all potentially evidence. Again, the question is, can it be verified? Can it be corroborated? There's a whole lot of stuff out there. Like I said, some of it is second and even third hand. It's TikTokers reposting things from Discord or things from Reddit. And so all of that is not inherently all that reliable. But if it matches what Celeste's family shares, what Celeste's friends are able to corroborate, what David's digital footprint informs them of, what the forensic evidence shows, now you're starting to put together a case.
Now here's the point. Through all of this, Celeste's family is left grieving. In a message that was posted alongside a GoFundMe campaign, the Rivas Hernandez family wrote, "As many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. They are seeking help to lay her body to rest. Any funds you are able to donate are greatly appreciated." Matthew, do you think an arrest is imminent here? I mean, we started this case off by there was a question of whether or not they'd be even able to identify the human remains. Came from the tattoo. They were able to ultimately identify this body as belonging to, as that of Celeste. Do you think that there's going to be an arrest soon?
of course.
I can't speak to the timeline of an arrest. I would say this, that the men and women in LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division are the best at what they do. They're handpicked from an agency of 9,000 or so officers.
Yes.
In terms of
yes.
the urgency to make an arrest, is there a public safety risk here? There doesn't appear to be. Is there a flight risk here? Apparently not. As you said, they know where he is, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. So the caution would seem to be the best course of action here. This is a case that you want to put together rock solid, bulletproof, before you make an arrest. And I imagine that's what the folks in robbery homicide are doing. I also wanted to thank you for saying what you did about the Rivas Hernandez family, because, you know, we are, as a society, fascinated with true crime, and that's understandable. They're often fascinating cases, but we're only able to tell these stories. We only hear these stories because, as you said, somebody has been terribly harmed. And the people that love them are grieving. And so we need to keep that in mind and not aggrandize or mythologize the people that do this harm, but
Right.
instead keep our focus on the victims and the people that love them.
Yeah.
I
That's
appreciate
good.
that.
That's good.
This is a tragedy. This is a real loss. They are experiencing it each and every day. And let me tell you, as the investigation continues, and if there's an arrest, the legal process begins, that pain only gets worse because now they have to live through it and they have to learn more, more details about the crime, and that's really, really tough. But at the same point, we're trying to amplify it. If people have information, know something, that's what investigators need at this point. And even like we talk about something like the teacher, will that play into evidence? Will that be a factor? Will that be part of the investigation? We shall see. Matthew Irvine, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I loved having you on. We'll make sure to have you back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being on.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow me on Instagram or X. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.
All right, now, Jesse Weber. Hey, what he said at the end was dope, though, bro. Like, let me say this next chapter video. We watching basketball tomorrow. We look at these cases like it's interesting, which sure it might fascinate our interest, but we gotta remember at the end of the day, it's not a game. Like, somebody genuinely lost their life, so it's like somebody, you feel me? Somebody genuinely lost their soul has disconnected from their body, so it's like we gotta like tighten up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know what to say, folks. Yeah. Dead people don't age. Oh, bro, like, why do they be... I'm on 15. She died at 14. You don't age when you're dead. You're dead. Right, bro. Like, what? That's... Bro! Like, what? Just the fact that he was clearly grooming a 13-year-old child should be enough to arrest and hold him while they thoroughly investigate her murder. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, bro, if it was a random person, like, come on, y'all can't, man. Y'all. Guilty as that's what I'm saying, bro. A missing teen found in your car. He never reported the car stolen. His lyrics eerily mirror the crime. He's deleting posts, locking down platforms, and going silent. His team is scrubbing digital traces instead of offering clarity. That's people saying the same thing, and they all right. Everybody in these comments is right. First of all, she not even 15, folks. She died at 14. Like, you don't age when you're dead, folks. Second of all, I don't know how he wasn't arrested. I mean, I know because he was a celebrity, but we all know, bro. If that was a random person, come on, gang. Yeah, that man is not roaming free, bro. Like, it's impossible. And then, yeah, that's the main two things they saying. But then they talking about he tried to work with the police. That nigga, he gonna talk himself in jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie. All glory to God, bro. I don't got too much to say, for this is crazy. Rest in peace to Celeste, even though she probably know him better, but I mean, it ain't her fault that she got killed, right? But all glory to God, bro. I don't got too much to say, folks. I hope her soul was saved. God bless y'all, bro. I love y'all. We out.